Hey, future ML masters. Ever feel like machine learning on Google Cloud is kind of like a locked vault? Well, we're about to pick that lock. This deep dive is going to make ML on Google Cloud, especially with Vertex AI, make a lot more sense. And even better, you're going to be ready to actually use it. We're going right to the source for this one.
Yeah.
Awesome video straight from Google Cloud's own YouTube channel, so you know we're getting the real deal.
Totally. We're breaking it down step by step, whether you're just starting with ML or maybe just need a little a refresher. And we're going beyond just the tech terms. We'll dig into the why. Like, when would you choose one Vertex AI tool over another? Because honestly, sometimes having a ton of options is just as confusing as having no idea where to start. Right?
Oh, for sure. Imagine, like, okay, you're running your own business, right? And everyone's talking about ML, saying it can predict which customers are about to, jump ship, customer churn, the dreaded churn. It sounds amazing, like magic almost, but where do you even begin?
That's where Vertex AI steps in. It's like the ultimate ML toolkit, seriously. It's not just one tool. It's a whole platform designed to handle every single step of your ML project. I mean, everything from organizing your data to getting that model deployed and actually making those churn predictions you were just talking about.
Okay, so it's like if you walk into a workshop, right, and every tool you could ever need is just there, ready to go. You wouldn't use a hammer for every job, right? So same with Vertex AI. It gives you the right tool for the task, whether you're a coding whiz or you prefer a more, visual drag and drop kind of approach.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And it really does cover the whole process. Think of it like 5 main steps, okay? You manage your data, then you got to train the model so it can learn from that data. Then you see how well it's doing, evaluate it, and if it's good, you deploy it so it can actually make predictions, and then you use those predictions to get insights or maybe even automate stuff.
Oh, well, hold on. You said the first step is managing your data. Why is that so important? I mean, can't we just toss any data we have at a model and hope for the best?
Not quite. That's like trying to bake a cake with, spoiled milk, Doesn't matter how awesome your recipe is. If the ingredients are bad, the whole cake's a mess. Your data, that's the key ingredient in machine learning. So if that data is messy, full of errors, or even just incomplete, well, your model's going to learn all the wrong things and give you bum predictions.
So Vertex AI steps in and helps us, clean up and organize our data before we even start training a model.
Bingo. It can handle pretty much any kind of data you throw at it, images, tables, text, videos, you name it. And it gives you these tools to clean it up, get it formatted right, basically making sure it's ready to go. There's even this thing called a feature store.
Feature store? That sounds kind of intimidating.
It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. Think of it like, a really well-organized warehouse. You store all the important stuff about your data there. Like if it's customer data, maybe it's their age, what they bought, how often they visit your website, things like that. And this feature store keeps all that data consistent. Plus, it's easy to find and use both when you're training your model and later on when it's making those predictions.
Okay, starting to get the picture now. So we've got our data all prepped and looking good thanks to Vertex AI and its data management tools. Now for the fun part, how do we actually teach a model to predict if a customer is going to ditch us? This is where the real magic happens, right?
Pretty much. This is where you get to make a choice. AutoML or custom training.
Ooh, decisions. Break it down for us. AutoML versus custom, what's the deal?
All right, imagine AutoML is like having a personal chef who just gets it, They know exactly how to make the perfect dish based on what you tell them. So you tell AutoML what you want, in this case, predict and churn, and it just figures out the best model, like a recipe, and cooks it up for you. No need to be a master chef yourself.
No coding required. Right, that's my kind of cooking.
Right. Perfect for those common ML tasks we were talking about. Image stuff, sentiment analysis, and yeah, definitely predicting things like customer churn. But even the best chef might struggle if you ask him to make some crazy multi-layered molecular gastronomy dish, right? AutoML has limits too.
So when do we ditch the personal chef and go full DIY in the ML kitchen?
When you need some serious control over the model, like super specific tweaks, or maybe you're working with really complex data, or your problem is just super unique, doesn't fit the usual mold. That's when you go custom. It's like becoming an expert chef yourself, crafting a recipe from scratch.
That sounds way more challenging, but also way more flexible.
Yeah.
But even if we go custom, Vertex AI is still there to help, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like having the most high-tech kitchen ever, every gadget you could dream of. Vertex AI gives you the space to write your code, manage the training process, and it even helps with one of the trickiest parts, hyperparameter tuning.
Hyper what now? Is that like a new ingredient I've never heard of?
Not quite. Remember that cake analogy? You've got your recipe, your ingredients all set, right? But what about the oven temperature? How long you bake it for? Those little things can make or break your cake. Well, in machine learning, those are your hyperparameters.
Okay, so finding the perfect hyperparameters, that's like making sure our model bakes perfectly, not too hot, not too cold.
Exactly. And just like you wouldn't want to spend all day testing different oven temperatures, Vertex AI swoops in to help. It tries a bunch of different hyperparameter combos and finds the one that makes your model perform its absolute best, saves you tons of time and headaches.
Wow, okay, so Vertex AI gets our data organized, helps us train our model, and it even fine-tunes those hyperparameter things. Sounds like we're on track to predict churn like the pros.
We're getting there. In part 2, we'll explore how Vertex AI helps you take that awesome trained model and actually let it loose in the real world. That's where deployment comes in.
I'm ready for it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment with any ML topics you're just dying to learn about. Maybe we'll do a deep dive on it. Back soon with part 2, where we'll unleash our model on the world.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time, we covered a lot of ground, all about how Vertex AI helps us, manage our data, train that model, even tweak those hyperparameters. It's like we built this amazing, powerful machine learning engine, but it's just sitting there, right?
Yeah. It's like we spent all this time building this super-tuned model that can predict customer churn, but how do we actually put it to work, get it out there doing its thing?
Exactly. That's where deployment comes in. It's all about taking that trained model and making it, accessible so the outside world can use it, like a website, a mobile app, even some internal system at your company, anything, really.
So it's like, okay, we built this amazing machine. Now we're setting up shop, letting it work its magic.
That's a great way to put it. And with Vertex AI, it's surprisingly easy, thanks to these things called endpoints.
Endpoints. Sounds a little techie. What are those exactly?
Okay, imagine you have a model that can predict if someone's going to click on an ad, right? You wouldn't want to go through some complicated process every time you need to make that prediction. That's where endpoints come in. They're like dedicated servers that just host your model and make it super simple to get those predictions. You just send data to the endpoint, and boom, it sends back the prediction based on your model.
So it's like a direct line, a super fast communication channel for our model to talk to everything else out there.
Exactly. And get this, Vertex AI endpoints are designed to handle a ton of requests super quickly and efficiently. They can even scale up or down depending on how much traffic you're getting, so you don't have to worry about your model getting bogged down or anything.
So endpoints are great for those, like real-time predictions, like deciding which ad to show someone right as they're browsing a website. But what about when you need to analyze a ton of data all at once? Like if we wanted to figure out, overall trends in customer behavior.
Oh, Vertex AI can handle that too, no problem. We've got this thing called batch predictions. It's kind of like this, okay? Endpoints are like a barista at a coffee shop taking orders one at a time, while batch predictions are more like a super efficient catering service, handling a massive event.
I love that. So batch predictions are for those, like bigger data crunching jobs where we don't need an instant answer.
You got it. Perfect for things like analyzing customer data to figure out long-term trends, maybe generating financial reports, even doing some serious scientific research with massive data sets, really powerful stuff.
Amazing. So we've trained our model, deployed it with endpoints or maybe batch predictions. It's out there making predictions like a pro. Are we done? Can we finally relax?
Almost. But there's one more super important piece of the puzzle we got to talk about. Continuous monitoring. You see, machine learning models, they're not static. They need to adapt and learn as the world changes, or they'll fall behind.
So it's like our model has to keep training, keeping its skills sharp. But why? What kind of changes would mess things up?
Well, think about it. Customer behavior, that's always changing. New trends pop up all the time. Even the way people use language, that evolves. So if you're not careful, your model might start making predictions that are just outdated, not accurate anymore.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be good. So continuous monitoring, that helps us spot those problems before they get too big.
Exactly. Vertex AI has these tools that let you track how well your model's performing over time. They can even send you alerts if things start to, drift off course. It's like having a personal trainer for your model, making sure it stays in tip-top shape.
That's so important. I hadn't even thought of that. So we got to treat our model like an athlete, keep an eye on it, make adjustments as needed. Can't just set it and forget it.
You got it. Continuous monitoring, that's how you make sure your model keeps delivering value and making accurate predictions long after you've deployed it. It's all about, embracing the fact that machine learning is always evolving.
This has been eye-opening. We've really gone deep on Vertex AI, from data management to deployment and now continuous monitoring. It's clearly a powerful platform, but is it only for, like, giant companies with tons of resources?
Not at all. One of the coolest things about Vertex AI is that it's designed to be accessible to everyone, no matter how much technical expertise you have or even your budget.
So even small businesses, individual developers, anyone can use machine learning on Google Cloud.
Absolutely. And in the next part, we'll talk about how Vertex AI makes it even easier with these things called pre-trained APIs. They're like ready-made solutions for common ML tasks that can save you a ton of time and effort.
Sounds intriguing. Before we jump into that, a huge shout out to all our listeners.
Yes. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling us what you think of this deep dive. What other topics are you interested in? We're always looking for new ideas.
We'll be back soon with part 3, where we'll dive into the secrets of those pre-trained APIs. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So far, we've explored, like, the whole world of Vertex AI, right? We've prepped our data, trained and deployed those models, even learned about keeping them in shape with that continuous monitoring. But what if I told you there's a way to use machine learning without building a model from scratch?
That's right. We're talking about pre-trained APIs. These are basically ready-made ML solutions. Like Google's experts crafted them and trained them on these massive data sets.
So instead of starting from zero, we can just, like, grab one of these pre-trained APIs and get right to it.
Exactly. Think of it this way, okay? Say you need to translate something from Spanish to English. Now, you could spend years learning Spanish, becoming a pro translator, or you could just use Google Translate. It's already trained on tons of language data.
Okay, that makes sense. So when would we choose a pre-trained API instead of building our own custom model?
Pre-trained APIs, they're perfect for those like common ML tasks, image stuff, translation, sentiment analysis, that kind of thing. They're also really good if you need a solution fast without getting into the nitty-gritty of model building.
So they're kind of like the fast food of machine learning. Quick, convenient, and sometimes surprisingly good.
Haha, perfect analogy. And just like fast food pre-trained APIs, they come in a lot of flavors. There are APIs for recognizing objects and images, understanding what text really means, like is it positive or negative. You can even pull out key info from documents, and there's a ton more.
Sounds almost too good to be true. Are there, like, any downsides to using these pre-trained APIs?
Well, they might not be the best fit for every single situation. Like if your problem is really unique or you need a model that's super specific, then yeah, you might be better off doing custom training. But for a lot of common tasks, those pre-trained APIs are a fantastic way to just get started with machine learning quickly and efficiently.
Okay, I'm convinced. How do we actually use these pre-trained APIs? Do we need to learn, like, a whole new coding language?
Nope. Google Cloud made it really easy to access them. You can use them through REST API calls, which is just a way for, like, different systems to talk to each other online. Or you can use the Vertex AI SDK. It has these pre-built functions, makes it even simpler.
So even if you're not a coding expert, you can still use these pre-trained APIs.
Absolutely. It's like, you have this magic machine learning box, feed it your data, and it gives you the answers.
Amazing. So to wrap it all up, Vertex AI gives us the best of both worlds, right? We can build these powerful custom models when we need to. We can also use these pre-trained APIs for those everyday tasks.
You got it. And the best part, it's all part of the same platform, so you can switch between custom models and those pre-trained APIs, no problem, however you need to.
This deep dive into Vertex AI has been incredible. We learned how to, like, wrangle our data, train and deploy models, even use those pre-trained APIs. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before they go out and conquer the world of machine learning?
Just embrace the possibilities. Machine learning, it's constantly changing. There's always something new. So many chances to create cool solutions. Don't be afraid to try things out, learn from your mistakes, and most importantly, have fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to our expert for sharing their knowledge. And to our awesome listeners, keep exploring, keep experimenting. Never stop learning.
And hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell us what you thought, what other topics are you interested in. We're always up for new deep dives.
Until next time, happy machine learning.